your introduction. So the presentation is the application of AI in agriculture, current and the future. Thank you. So here is the synopsis. So first I will talk about the background of agriculture, the needs, and also the application of machine vision. That is, I call the past or the ongoing, and the future is the generative AI. And so as a biosystem engineer, that our mission is to produce enough food. And in the past, we know that food production is vulnerable to disasters and pests. So we build facilities and tractors to help the production. And but the farmers still need to go to the farm to check their products manually. So that's basic. The reason, one of the big reasons that we need AI. And another reason is that the birth rate in many countries, including Taiwan, and also the employment in agriculture in some advanced countries are dropping that drastically. We know that's a big issue. So since probably 6 years ago, in 2016 or 18, that the Ministry of Agriculture in Taiwan, we start a big project called Smart Agriculture. So the sense is that we use sensors instead of human beings to collect information from the field. And then we stream those information to a cloud. And we use AI to make decisions or to process these raw data into information that we need. And so from my research, because I focus on computer vision, so I will focus on the vision part. So first I would like to briefly talk about what computer vision can do. So there are 6 objectives here. The first one is classification, the second is object detection, and third and the fourth are segmentation, but they are different segmentation. And we also have video classification. That means for some animal behaviors, we need to use video instead of image. And we also do object tracking. So in the following slides, I'm going to talk about 5 to 6 different applications. So there will be some overwhelming information, hopefully not too short. So first is the crop identification. Taiwan is a small island and we have very small lands. So the thing that we do like crop production statistics is to send emulators, those are like the workers, to the field, by the field I should say, and they take photo. And in the old time, they have to like identify the crop by themselves manually. But there are many issues like they are not expert in that area, and they got paid like for taking photo, not doing the annotation correctly. So we want to do this automatically. So first we collect crop of 53 types. Why do we only collect 53? Because we have enough image for 53. But in real situation is that we always have more than 53 types of crops. Those are non-toxic crops, but we have to deal with them too. So this is so-called an anomaly detection problem. And we also have to detect those non-crop images. So here we have in distribution and we have out of distribution, or called anomaly problems to deal with. And so to deal with that problem, we propose a 3-stage identification flow. So here first you can see the feature extractor that extracts features from images. And then second, we have a out of distribution detector. If the image is out of distribution, that means, okay, we don't know, we are not sure what it is. Then we send it to manual identification. And this is called co-pilot, right? We don't rely on AI completely. We still need to get involved. And if we think, okay, this crop is within the 53 target, then we use a classifier to do identification automatically. So this is the basic idea. And for the out of distribution, we achieve an accuracy of almost 98%. And for crop identification, it is currently 91, and we are improving it still. And second application is disease and pest and disorder identification for tomato. So white tomato is very famous, and the production amount is big worldwide. And also, like for tomato, we have a big crop area in Taiwan. So this is our first target crop. And the conventional way is we have plant pathologists to do the identification, but it's time consuming. So the idea is first, I shouldn't say the idea, the first problem we encounter is there are some disease. Those are very, very hard to distinguish using naked eye, even for the experts. So we have to put them together as a category. Say, specs, we have gray leaf spot and early blight at early stage, and target spot at early stage, and bacterial spot at early stage. Fortunately, we can find like a pesticide that can work on these four disease together, so we don't have to worry about this. So thinking about this farmer, the information they want is what pesticide they should use instead of what disease it is. So this is the key idea of this research. And because it's very complicated, so we use multiple deep learning models. Here you can see there are 5. I'm not going to go into the details of these 5, but basically here you can see that here are the performance of these 5 models. And one is like object detection, so it's MAP instead of accuracy. And here is like the application that we developed. And it has multiple links that tells you what medicine to pesticide to use. Sorry, it's in Mandarin. And the next application is wood species identification. Because in Taiwan we have some very expensive wood, hinoki. I'm not sure if you know what it is. Very, very expensive. And so the identification is a big problem, especially when there's a typhoon coming to Taiwan. You can see a lot, thousands, millions of logs at the river bank. So by the regulation, the officers have to clean this up and identify what is economically important within 1 week. It's actually a mission impossible because they are not so familiar with what type of wood it is. So basically, we developed a application that can talk to the cloud service that hosts in our lab, and there's a chatbot and working with 2 deep learning models. So, So here are the cross sections images of these wood species, 41 in total, and here are some very expensive ones. So you can see like the dimension of each patch is about 8 by 8 millimeters. So within this size, we can get enough features to identify the woods. And so far, we test this on scanners only. So on scanners, the accuracy is very, very high. But in the future, we want to apply it using a cell phone. So we are still working on this. So you can see that we use a magnifier and a smartphone and a 3D printed plastic case. And that's enough to do the application. And let's move to the next, that's underwater image. And this is even more challenging. So shrimp is a very popular and very, very important protein resource. And we know that for feed, shrimp, the feed accounts for about 40% of the overall cost. And so it's very important to measure like the appetite of the shrimp. Consider that it's underwater animal, and the water is always filled with fungi or some other alga, or it's very blurred green, and you cannot see what is over there. So what do? We need some system that can help us to solve the problem. So basically, I work with another professor in my department who invented this underwater imaging system. And as you can see that it's very special. It's it looks from bottom to up. Okay, the background is the day, okay, the sky. And so this information, the video is streamed back to the cloud server. And then we measure and track, we measure the food residual, and we track how the number of shrimp coming to eat the feed, the sample feed, and also track their activities, and then send the information to the farmers. So let's see, this is the underwater imaging system. So here you can see the cameras over here, and this is the panel that is plastic, transparent plastic. So when it is in the panel, it looks like this. The background is light, and this is the sample feeder. It only feeds a little bit feed samples, and so we can know if the shrimps are hungry or not. So we use two models separately. First is shrimp tracking model, and second is the feed residual measurement model. And first model is actually a YOLO plus sort, nothing very fancy, but the MAP is pretty good, and we can see the results like the shrimps are tracked. And the second is to measure the feed residual, sample feed residual. So you can see the sample feed was fed gradually from the feeder that is on the top of the transparent panel, and the feed, sample feed were identified correctly using image processing. We don't try to use fancy method as long as the old method, image processing, works, because then we can do that in an embedded system. And we also can do long-term study. Here you can see that shrimp grows from week to week. And the idea is that the farmers can monitor the length of their shrimp, and then they can find the optimal timing, to sell their shrimp to market, because the price of the shrimp may vary. And the next application is the detection of chicken carcass. And this is for native chicken or collared chicken rather than broiler. So we know that broiler is a very popular chicken variety worldwide. It's called broiler because they are slaughtered at age of 4 or 5 weeks. We know that, right? Okay. And for native chickens, they grow till maybe 11 or 12 weeks. But like native chicken is a very popular domestic food in Taiwan. When my mom cook chicken soup, she always used native chicken. But it's not like there's no commercial system for native chicken because they have powder skin. So basically, we develop our own. So here we can see that this is the input image, and this is a two-stage identification. First is to identify the body parts. Second is to identify if the part is defective or not. So here we can see this is the slaughter line. Here we have two cameras, here and here. And the system is actually on top, so we cannot see that. And the front camera shoots the front image of the chicken, and then it's sent to the, the parts were first identified, then the detection is identified. So there are like two models are used, and the accuracy by far is pretty good. And there will be a knocking system over here in a few months that knocks the defect carcass. So the final one, sorry, I'm not sure if I run out of time or I talk too fast. The clock over there, okay. And this application is about pig farming. So we know that pig farming, we have 3 stages. And first is farrowing, and second is nursery, and third is finishing. And I work on farrowing and nursery. And let's see what is happening in farrowing. So farrowing is the place that the mother sow give birth to their piglets. So we put cameras on top, and then we shoot videos, and then we use deep learning models to analyze what is going on over there. And then here are the index given by the model. So let's take a look. Here are the 7 postures recognized by our model. So please pay attention to this feeding and standing. These two are difficult to distinguish if we only use a single image. Okay, so that's the reason why we want to use video. Okay, and the accuracy is well high enough. And so for those videos, we quantify their the soul's behavior. But how do we give the information to the farmer? So basically, we use pie chart. Here, take a look. See, here we have 10 crates. Which crate do you think that is abnormal? Number 4, right? It's very special. We see a big yellow portion over there. That is recumbency. That's an indication of that soul is probably not doing very well. It's either sick or very close to sick. So pay attention to crate 4. We'll see it later. And next is the mobility or the movement tracking of the piglets. So the idea is that when a sow is not doing well, her piglet will not do well either. Okay, so when we see crate 4, we can see they are resting a lot. Okay, so this is the story. When in a dairy house, we have to monitor both the sow and her piglets. Okay, and in a nursery is also a very special stage. In the nursery, we always put we put crates, piglets from different crates into the same pens. So it's like the first day you go to kindergarten. What happens? You might be bowled by some other strong kids, right? So this is the issue that we want to look into. So basically here, first we do tracking, and it's detection and tracking. We track individual piglets, and we also want to detect interactive piglets. And what's the purpose? Oh, sorry, over here. Aggression. So aggression is defined as when one piglet attacks another piglet. And that's the most important issue that we want to figure out. For the feeding and drinking, I think that's pretty normal, that we want their information. Sorry, I don't have the big statistic chart for this yet, but my student is working on that. I believe that in a few months we will have some results. So for the future, I still have 6 minutes. Hopefully I can make it. Generative AI. So what is the definition of generative AI? It's basically the result is ultimately many, like to write an article, to show, to compose an image, to compose a music. Okay, that's generative AI. And so what does generative AI place in smart agriculture? From my point of view, it will be over here as our brand in the very top. So let's take a look first. What is generative AI? So far, the most famous generative AI is LLM, large language model. And what does it do? It can behave like a chatbot and generate text and do summarization and also write programs for us. So do the language translation. And the threatening to engineer like us is code generation, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. Like people keep saying that. So what we really want is content summarization instead of text generation when we use LLM in agriculture. Why do I say so? I will show you later. So we know there are some big LLM, very, very big. Their parameters are in trillions. Okay, so basically probably only the NVIDIA center that Daniel just showed can host one of the model. Like in my lab, we cannot host any kind of this model. But there are some open source smaller LLM. There are billions, like 8 billion model. And I come up with 4 scenarios that we can use the LLM. First is the plant disease report. So in Taiwan, we have a policy of pesticide reduction. We don't want to use so many pesticides. So we send an expert called plant doctor to the field to check what is going on with your plant. And then this plant doctor has to write a report. So what we can do to use LLM is to just provide some essential information and using the applications and all like most of the information is there and LLM can complete a report for the plant doctor and the plant doctor can save millions of times. So thinking about that, the PowerPoint is, this is called summary, not text generation. Text generation is something considered more dangerous. You're not sure what it's going to generate. And also, like if we continue our research on computer vision, okay, this report can be more complete. And this is also a stage of copilot because we want to double check if the report written by LLM is correct or not. So still, always, we need experts. And second is agricultural information collection. So if we have experts all over in different areas in your country, we can use LLM to summarize what is going on over there, as long as the report is provided fast enough. And once we summarize this report, we can send this information to the administration level, and they can determine the policy. Say we find that one disease that is spreading in certain area, and we need to make more effort to prevent that from becoming a disaster. So this is the second application. And third is the intelligent farmer service. So that means we collect some important and correct documents with correct information as our database. And when we use LLM to answer farmers' question, we base on this data rather than the information learned by the LLM. Because what they learned is, we don't know what he learned, actually, basically. And the fourth, I have to give the credit to Daniel Lee and Dana Joy from University of Florida. And this is her idea that we have certain crops that only yields in some seasons. For the rest of season, we cannot do anything if we want to develop a robot, a harvester, something like that. So we can use this generated image to do training. And then we can bring that robot to the field for real application. So by far, what is happening, we see like, I remember in the talk yesterday, I'm not sure who was the talker, mentioned about like UIUC has a LLM already for farmer service, and Bayer is doing so. It's announced in March already. So this is happening already. And like the most important issue that we consider is hallucination by LLM. So from my idea, our best bet is use the RAG, the retrieval augmented generation. That means when the farmer gives a question to the LLM will digest that question because some questions are not so formal. Okay, but after digestion, we use a search engine to search information from those official documents provided by some research organization, and we use these information, correct information, to answer the question from the farmers. Okay, so to sum up, what I'm seeing is going to happen in Taiwan. In the past decade that we use machine vision to collect information, and in this coming decade that I believe that LLM or some other generative AI will help us to diagnose the problem or to analyze the situation and give us the information that we will need. So here are the agencies or ministries that provide me the funding, and some farmers who provide me the experience side. And here are students of my team, and this is my talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. All right, thank you. Any questions for you? Just comment. So come to the microphone if you have questions.
Probably too boring or
Too perfect to cover. I have at least quantum power question. Ooh. I have a very simple question. When you talk about the detecting native chicken, so 2 cameras were used. So can you tell me their own functions of 2 cameras?
one is in front of the chicken, and the other, one is shooting the front of the chicken, the other is shooting the back of the chicken. So 2 cameras shooting 1 chicken in the middle.
I see it.
Yeah.
Any questions? No questions, which means your presentation is too perfect. So no questions. Thank you for your great presentations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.